one of the really great things to do is to look on the Research and Ethics website that we have within our district. It maps out a clinical trial protocol for you, and it has all the different sections that you need to answer. So that's a good starting point. The other good starting point would be to have a look at the national statement that was brought out by the National Health Medical Research Council. Now, that document is something that the Ethics Committee will look at religiously when they're looking at your protocols. So have a look at that, have a look at the template that's already been provided for you, and really have a clear understanding of what you're wanting to achieve. There is a specific requirement called good clinical practice for any clinical trial research, and you can contact myself or through the Research and Ethics Office again. We run monthly good clinical practice training programs here at the Ingham Institute. You can contact me for just general training or just going through what your protocol design is, how are you going to recruit, training of all your other staff members, giving some idea of what a site file is for a clinical trial and how to manage that project from day one up until you plan to finish. And that could be, the project could be up to 1 year to maybe 5 years at times. So you really need to have a good project management team behind you. So there's a lot of planning and development. It's not just about the initial submission. There's ongoing processes that you need to be aware of. So it's not just about good clinical practice training. That's kind of setting your, your building blocks. And there's so much more that you need to learn. So I would advise that you would contact the Research and Ethics Office or contact me for further advice and project planning.
The advice I have for clinicians who are looking at doing a clinical trial in this district is to look at the team that you have around you. You need to have a supportive team that knows about the knowledge about the research that you're wanting to do. Do you have enough clinicians involved in the research? Do you have researchers involved, statisticians, clinical trial coordinators, those members of the team that can help you develop your project but also help you to collect your data and analyse your data. So follow all the steps from the start of the study all the way through to data completion and archiving. If
you're going to use an unapproved therapeutic good, then you need to be contacting the TGA, so the Therapeutic Goods Australia, and you do that via a sponsor. So a sponsor could be the institution itself, or it could be a university, a collaborative group like the NHMRC, or you could have a big pharmaceutical company sponsoring you. So the TGA needs to be notified via the sponsor through a clinical trial notification scheme or a clinical trial exemption scheme. If you are unsure, contact the TGA themselves, usually via a phone or email. The other way you can do that is actually contacting the Research and Ethics Office within our local health district, or contacting myself, and we can walk through what your plan is going to be, and then I can advise you further. It's specifically for if you are planning to use an investigation product or an unapproved device that you need to go through the TGA. So that's the biggest difference.
There are also roles within the district that focus specifically on clinical trials. There is a clinical trials manager across the district who is a wealth of knowledge regarding clinical trials and how they have to be run. There's also within departments there may also be a dedicated clinical trials coordinator or manager, and they're a great resource for assisting with protocol development, information sheet consent form review, and how to run your study and the best way to collect data, store your data, archive your data, etc. It's also really important for new researchers to look at what other people have done so they're not reinventing the wheel. There's lots of resources out there on clinical trials registries, in journal articles, and lots of other data that's being collected. It's also really important to look at safety monitoring measures throughout your research to ensure that the participants are safe and that the data being collected can be used appropriately.
My advice would be to all researchers or potential researchers out there is that if you do want to conduct a randomised controlled trial, then contact the Research and Ethics Office, contact myself as a clinical trials manager, and we can work through what questions you want to explore, how you would choose your study team and project manage that plan from day one to whenever that trial would finish, and how you sort of get through that ethics and governance process. because it can be quite daunting and overwhelming for you, and we don't want you to start a project and not finish it. So what I'm saying is that there is support out there for you, and it's not just located here at Liverpool Hospital, it's actually run district-wide. So the support is out there for wherever you are, and obviously we're all available via email and phone.